Who we got over here? Oh, Lord. These are two characters we found on the road. One of them didn't have any shoes, and the other one was lost. Okay. We are in this 15th floor, wherever.
In the Ramada.
Ramada, oh, there's the one.
You'd like to have an interview with me?
Yes, sir. What are you here for, sir?
I tell you, I came down here to visit Bourbon Street. I'm going to tear it up. I'm going to
Do you
tear it
have
up.
AIDS, or you going to
You
get
all
AIDS?
ain't never seen the likes of me before. Right, just wait. I'm going to be in the newspapers tomorrow. I'm in the newspaper very frequently. I'll be famous. My name's J.H. Cat. I'm going to be famous.
Okay. Oh, we've been in. What looks good. We went.
What is that purpose?
We'll have to go.
I got it, finally.
Great.
They got female person.
Ready?
You remember where we went? Uh-huh.
Still taking?
Now what we...
This is the Mississippi River. I see you, Doc.
I like it.
Hey, that look good. I like it with the tag on.
Hold on.
There you go.
Hey, there you go. Look good. Bourbon Street, New Orleans. New Orleans. Get a close up.
Oh my God. I thought I'd seen him. You're all by yourself. Face to her face.
Where you from?
It's not even on that.
Where you from? New Jersey.
Where's that?
New York metropolitan area.
We are now on Bourbon Street. Don't put it on zoom, put it on wide angle, let it rip.
Well, we don't want to go east, huh?
Now we're passing the Superdome.
We just rode the train track.
Yeah.
98 Oakville. This is New Orleans. This is our one vacation. 1986. And are we having fun yet?
Yes, we are. That's
You may not
right.
be, but we have.
That's right.
That's the Superdome. Dr. Gwen.
When's that come? This picture's gonna be wobbly. Medical center.
Hotel, no,
We're looking at Lake. Is this Lake Pontchartrain? Did you say?
Yeah.
It's like Pontchartrain.
Boy, now you talk about a big place. Say nothing but miles and miles and miles of water.
Bridge,
Is there one over there? Because if there is, I can't see it.
Back in through there, there's a causeway. We'll slide there on
Causeway, it's farther back.
And he's lost. He's got us at the Borden construction gate.
I know, but that line.
Man, I didn't know I worked at a plantation. My place looked just like it.
Come on now, Burns. Tell us exactly where you are going, because you have got us lost.
Tell you what.
Let me show you what happened.
This, well, okay, first thing, this Interstate 70 coming down here, it never did have an exit for Interstate 70. We were going to come down here and hit this 44 and go up. Well, it never showed that. So
We've been past 44.
we passed 44, so then we took 73 south, which is what this is. But it should come up here and hit 44. This is what this is, 44. And we were going to take a left and go up here. Now, I guess it's still down that way, but I thought we'd better stop and check the big map out. Because we just passed Interstate 30, or Highway 30.
Wait just a minute, now where are we? Okay, we're right.
We're right over here.
Okay, here's 73.
Okay.
Okay, you want to go to, now which way do we want to go after we get off the 73?
If we want to hit 44, which should follow the river.
44 is an
Are you filming him, Gwen?
Oh, honey, I am getting all this, Daddy, now.
That's good.
30. Is that 30?
We're in the parking lot of a old ex-Brown Root parking lot.
Oh, really?
Come to
Construction.
see some of my friends.
We are what you call lost.
Shoot. This map, I don't know what's wrong with this map.
We've got
It's the map, it's not us.
it took him 6 years in college to learn how to read a map.
And we're
He
lost.
went to a reunion this morning, they wouldn't even let him in.
Get this up a little closer. Hold this here real second. Okay, Interstate 10, 44, 73.
Kill it, Mom.
Huh?
This is,
Isn't this the Hossa House?
H-O-U-M.
Isn't it pretty though?
It's pretty.
I'll tell you what, are y'all gonna look at that up? If y'all, I'm gonna run down here then.
Well,
Y'all come now, yeah?
okay. Come on, Steve.
I'm looking at some plantation down here. Sweat rolling down my back, and we are having fun.
Go on distance on this thing.
Far down here in South Louisiana, Daddy's trying to find some of his kin folks nobody will claim him.
That's right.
Now, he's just had his night out on Bourbon Street, and he said he feels like
Been rolled by a train.
Standing on his head.
Rolled by a train.
Look at it, look. Look at it. He said a night on Bourbon Street. He feels like he's standing on his
Hold up your hand there, Daddy. Hey, that look good. Look good. Here you come back down now. And you get $5 for a
Not only still Edwards' constituency, they are now his clients. The owners pay him to counsel basketball's Golden State Warriors, to be in step with 49er football coach Bill Walsh, to sit in the boardroom with Commissioner Uberoth.
The old methods are not nearly as viable. We're burned out on demonstrations. We're burned out on sit-ins. I have got to move into the mainstream. I've got to move in creditably. I've got to move in effectively if I'm going to be able to do the job that I've been assigned to do, and I'm determined to do that.
Edwards' effectiveness will be judged by a final score. How many black players can be placed in the upper reaches of the white man's game? This professor, who has always posed the questions, now must provide the answer. Robert Lipsyte, NBC News, New York.
And that's our news. Be sure to join Maria Shriver and Boyd Mattson tomorrow morning on Sunday Today. And on Meet the Press tomorrow, Chris Wallace will interview National Security Advisor Frank Carlucci. And Garrick Utley will be here tomorrow night. I'm Connie Chung in New York. I'll see you again next Saturday night. Thank you for joining us, and for all of us at NBC News, happy Halloween.
George Burns just made a deal with this songwriter to make it big.
I can get you what you deserve. Concerts, gold records.
There's only one small catch.
My God. Guess again.
You'll have a devil of a good time with George Burns and George Burns in the network television premiere, Oh God, You Devil, Monday.
It'll be fabulous.
I'm Paul Gonzalez. Cleanup efforts are going along smoothly in Texas City, where thousands of people last night had to flee from a cloud of toxic acid.
And I'm Ron Regan with those who are evacuated. We'll bring you the latest on when they can return home.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Lake.
And I'm Sylvia Perez. We'll have these stories and more, including Houston gears up to fight the AIDS epidemic. Channel 2 News at 6 is coming up next.
Where does it hurt?
Here.
For indigestion, heartburn, and gas, nobody does as much as Malox Plus. Dose for dose, it neutralizes more than any regular strength antacid and dissolves gas. Nobody does as much as Malox Plus.
My father was a compulsive gambler. He didn't want to be, but he was enslaved to it. I have seen firsthand the devastation that gambling wreaks in the individual life and in the families. That devastation won't stay in the confines of the track. It'll touch you, your children, and your grandchildren unless you vote no on referendum 2.
Channel 2, KPRC TV, Houston. The news starts now. Live from Houston, this is Channel 2 News. With Tim Lake, Sylvia Perez, Melvin Epps, Duke Fry, and the Channel 2 News team.
An aerial view of the Marathon Petroleum Company, that is, where a toxic acid leak occurred yesterday, forcing the evacuation of about 4,000 people. The cleanup is still going on tonight, and it looks as if there is a lot of work ahead. Good evening, everyone. Crews in Texas City have contained the hydrofluoric acid leak, but there's still no word on when residents can return home.
Many of them spent the night in evacuation centers as they were forced to leave their homes when the dangerous chemical started leaking at about supper time last night. Channel 2's Paul Gonzalez joins us now from the Marathon plant with the latest on the cleanup. Paul, how are things going out there tonight?
Well, it's been a tough and chaotic 24 hours for people here at Marathon Petroleum. And now company officials say it will be another 24 hours before they clean up this acid leak that sent thousands fleeing from their homes and hundreds to the hospital. Last night, pandemonium broke out as a cloud of hydrofluoric acid rose above the refinery. The immediate response: contain the leak by pouring water on the source. That, along with soda ash and lime, neutralized the chemical. An 80-ton piece of equipment was dropped from a crane and severed a line containing the acid. Some workers were very close.
They had a heavy load about 150 feet in the air, and a cable snapped on the crane. And the load started to fall, and it free-falled about 100 foot, and it hit that vessel.
All today, fire hoses continued pouring water on the tank and line. The water keeps the acid cool. Another cloud of vapor can burst forth if it gets above 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Marathon officials say the plant was closed for maintenance at the time.
It's normal during a turnaround to have more people working in the refinery because in addition to your own personnel, you have contractor staff. And despite of these increased numbers, everybody got out safely, and we only know of 2 unconfirmed injuries.
About 1 o'clock this afternoon, officials started pumping out the hydrofluoric acid container. The acid went into a pair of railroad tank cars. When they are filled, they'll be taken away, and officials will decide what to do with them later. We're live here in Texas City, and I'm with Texas City Mayor Emmett Lowry. Mayor Lowry, before we went on, you told me that you were satisfied primarily with the way emergency services responded to this. Do you think there's any room for improvement, or did things go as planned?
Well, things have gone pretty well as we planned to handle occasions such as this. We will critique this operation as we always do and hope to improve it in the event we ever have another occasion to use our emergency equipment down here.
Thank you very much, Mayor. While we're watching the progress of the cleanup, thousands of Texas City residents are waiting to go back to their home. Channel 2's Ron Regan has spent most of today with them. Ron?
Well, Paul, the dinner line is forming here at Northside Elementary School. Just as it did last night, it was a very long night and a very long day for these people. About 175 people stayed in this shelter overnight. And the question they were asking all day long: when can I go home? About 6 o'clock this evening, about 2-3 minutes ago, they had mentioned that possibly by 8 o'clock, but they still, as you mentioned, they still do not have all of that material emptied out. And there is some sense here, some fear of those who were evacuated that they might have to spend another night here. Well, they're ready to make the most of it. Food is being brought in for families who were forced to stay out of their homes. Now exhausted after being up all night long, they slept most of the afternoon. Tony Dantzler never did sleep well.
I'd maybe nod out for about 30 minutes. I'd be up, walking around, walk outside, smoke a cigarette. You know, that's about it.
Dantzler, his wife, children, and mother-in-law live just a block from the plant. After last night, they're ready to go home.
I'm ready to go as soon as they tell me to go. Well, first thing I'm going to do when I go home is jump in my bed.
Some of those evacuated did go back to pick up medicine left behind in the panic. What they found surprised them.
If the evening was clearing up outside, inside the houses, it wasn't blowing out, and you could smell it. You know, people didn't have air conditioning and had their windows just partially cracked. It was just, you know, a stench inside.
Eleanor Nightingale just moved to Texas City and found a rare sense of togetherness here.
I'll tell you what, met a lot of nice people. I've never been through something like this before, but one way to get to meet people.
Usually frosted because the ladies didn't like to look at it. Fruit like crunch and the grapes are a symbol of abundance. On this end of the table is a celebum set. Celebum is quite similar to our eggnog, except thicker and easier to spoon. On all 3 of the serving tables in the room, you'll notice the bowl. Isn't that pretty?
Is there a beer around here?
Not around here. They may have a red. I don't know.
Well, you know, on day one, we were...
The land was sold, which were also sold and going down. So we no longer have any of these in our brains. Then look around and we'll move back in.
Name of this tree is Burnside. 230 years old.
Look at all of the boats down there. This is the river, but I bet that thing may be. Can you see the Capitol? Is that long pointed thing out there? Yeah, I got that thing on here.
Third floor where you got shot right, man. You know, they got them bullets all right over Ridley. This car, where bullets hit that concrete.